Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before I start anything about this video, I want to say thank you guys so much. I hit 100,000 subscribers yesterday and I'm very happy. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with me for as long as you have. I know some of you guys have been around since I first started my channel, which was a really long time ago, but I am going to be doing a 100K giveaway. I'm going to be busy for the next probably week or two, and then I should have that ready to go, and I just kind of got to get the prizes all sorted out and figure out what I'm going to be doing with that. But I will be doing a 100K giveaway really soon, so please keep an eye out for information about that soon. I also wanted to mention that I don't know if a lot of people noticed, I think some people missed it, but I did post another video on Thursday evening doing a gouache self-portrait. And I know I don't normally post Thursday nights, but it was kind of, I just wanted to post it and get it out there for everybody to enjoy because I had a lot of fun doing that. So please go check it out. There will be a link down below as well as on the screen up here for you guys to check that out, since I know a lot of people didn't even know that it was up. So surprise Thursday video. Anyway. So as you can see from this huge pile of art supplies, today I'm going to be doing another favorite art supplies video. I haven't done one of these since 2015. I had to go back and look, and I didn't realize that it was so long ago. And my favorite art supplies have changed a little bit since then, so I thought I would film another one of these. I'm going to try and do one once a year from now on. There's black paint all over my hand. But yeah, so I'm going to talk about all my favorite art supplies, from papers to watercolors, sketchbooks, pens, pencils, brushes, pretty much everything that I use on a regular basis for making videos on my channel and just for art in general. I also forgot to mention, this is going on for a long time, I know, but all the links to everything I talk about in this video will be down there in the doobly-doo for you guys to check out. So if you're wondering where I got something or whatever, it's down there. So let's get into this because it's probably going to be long, so woo! Alrighty, so I'm going to start out with my favorite marker coloring paper. This is the Gina K Pure Luxury cardstock, and it is in the pure ivory color. I have two different weights here. This is the 80 pound, this is the 120, that's why it says 120 here. I usually use the 80 pound in all of my Copic marker videos. This is the paper that I like the best with Copics, and I definitely like the way the Copics look on the ivory paper, because you can see this is the white and this is the ivory, so there's definitely a color difference. It's not a huge difference, but it makes the Copic markers a little bit more rich and deep looking, which I like. There's also a white version of this that I've used in the past as well. This is a bit difficult to get a hold of, so sometimes if I don't have any of this, like these are my last 2 packs of this, I will also use the Express It blending card, which is a little bit easier to get a hold of since they do sell it on Amazon, but I like this. I just wish it was a little bit easier to get a hold of. So these are my 2 favorite watercolor papers. One is hot pressed, one is cold pressed. This is the Fluid 100 watercolor paper in the hot pressed version. I tend to use hot pressed paper for gouache rather than watercolor. Sometimes I'll use watercolor on hot press, but I like gouache on this more smooth paper. So this is the 8x8 pad of this. I like this for hot pressed. For cold pressed, I definitely like my arches. I've talked about arches very recently in, I think it was my art supply haul. I mentioned these watercolor blocks. Yeah, I go through a couple of these blocks a year. I've already started using this one. This is one of the ones that I showed in my art supply haul, but I've already started using it. But yeah, this is definitely what I prefer if I want to do like a more detailed watercolor piece, something that I'll spend a little bit more time on. I'll of course go to my arches. So for sketchbooks, I have, I'm gonna say 4. I was gonna say 3, but I changed my mind. So I'll start with this one. This is my little Leuchtturm. You guys have seen this before, but this is probably one of my favorite just like sketching mess around sketchbooks. This is generally what I take with me if I like am going out and about. I have started using my Moss & Co sketchbook. I know that people were telling me that I should start using this when I showed it in my sketchbook video from last year, and I have started using it. I'm about halfway done with it, and I just really like it for just doing watercolors. Just really like this for taking with me. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite watercolor sketchbooks to take out and about with me. So this is my Canton XL mixed media sketchbook. I feel like I've talked about these a million times on my channel, but yeah, this is definitely one of my go-to like at-home sketching. This is a fairly new sketchbook. It's about half full, but yeah, this is just the one that I like the most for doing larger sketches. This is my Lightbox. I used to have that really big one, if you guys remember from back in the day on my channel, but it died, so I had to replace it. But this Lightbox is by Light Up. I got it from Amazon. There will be a link down below, of course. But it's one of those like ones you just touch, and then it comes on, and it works really well. Like I can use it through watercolor paper, like pretty heavy watercolor paper, and it works really well. Alright, so we're gonna go on to pens and pencils and markers and fun things. So this is my Dell Phonics utility pouch, which is my pencil case. I showed this in my most recent art supply haul, and I love this thing. It's so great. You can hear me gush about that a little bit more in the art supply haul if you want to check it out. But in here are just my favorite markers, which are obviously my Copic markers. I usually use the Sketch and the Chow. I tend to use the Sketch more because I have more of those, but they're both really good. I don't know what else I can say about Copics. Copics are good, whatever. So these are going to be my most used pencils. I generally tend to not use mechanical pencils too much anymore, but if I do, I will use this one. This is the Unikurutoga mechanical pencil. It's one of those ones where you're using it and like the barrel spins, so the sharp end of the lead is always on the side you're using, which is pretty cool. Alright, so if I do want to use a like regular pencil, I generally tend to use regular pencils if I'm doing like a watercolor illustration, like those food paintings I showed with my Arches watercolor block. I did the outline of those with this pencil. This is a Palomino Blackwing. This is the 6.02 lead weight. They have erasers on them, which are replaceable, and they're cool. These are expensive pencils. I used these when I was in animation school. This is what we used to do our 2D animation with, and yeah, they're really nice. I've still used them since I stopped going, or since I graduated from school. I always use, if I can get it to show up, this is my go-to drawing pencil, which I use in every video that I post on my channel. This is the Prismacolor Verithin in Crimson Red, and it is the one that has the eraser. I don't use the eraser that often, as you can tell, because it is still a colored pencil, so it doesn't erase as good, but that's not really an issue or something that bothers me. So now I'm going to go on to some inking pens. I also don't ink very often, so I have very few of these. These are my Copic Multiliners. These are the lavender and wine versions. I have all the other colors as well as the blacks. I don't use the black ones that often anymore. I don't prefer to outline in black anymore with my art how it is right now, but that could always change. These are my two favorite colors to ink with. I use them quite a lot, and they just look really pretty. These next two are ones that I use in my sketchbook most often. These are the Uniball Signo DX pens. I use these to outline my sketches in my Leuchtturm sketchbook. You guys have seen that if you've watched any of the Bathtub Mermaid videos that I've posted on my channel. I've used these. I used to use the red, but I've kind of fallen in love with the blue lately too. So these are the two I use most often for that. This is the Pentel Aquash brush pen. This isn't the pocket brush. I have the pocket brush too, but I like the way this one works better. But it's just a black inking like brush pen. If I do feel like inking something in black, this is generally what I tend to go for. And last but not least, for the pens, this is my favorite white gel pen. I don't see many people using this one, but I think it's so good and everybody should know about it. This is the Sakura Deco white gel pen. It comes in a bunch of colors. This is kind of like, I would say it's like the Jelly Roll, but the ink is way more pigmented. And I just think that it shows up on, no matter what I put it on, it just shows up pure white. And this is the only one I've found that is pure white. This it's really good. So if you're looking for a white gel pen and haven't found one that you like, try this one out. Not many people have used this one, and I think it's super good. Alrighty, so now we're going to go on to some like odds and ends from the pencil case. This is my favorite pencil sharpener. This is by Coom. This is the a long point pencil sharpener, so it has the wood side of the pencil and then the lead side, and it just gives you a really fine point. And it also has like a point sharpener on each side, so you can get like a super fine point if you're looking for that. And I used to have a red one of these, but I broke it real good, so I had to replace it with this blue one. A lot of these things are similar from my old favorite art supplies videos. Some things just don't change. This is my favorite plastic eraser. This is the Tombow Mono. I use it for everything, so it's good. Good stuff. So now I'm going to go into like watercolor brushes and things like that. These are my favorite water brushes. These are by Art and Fly. I got them from Amazon. They come in a set of 3, and I think they're $10, which is super cheap. I've never had one of these leak on me, and I generally tend to take them with me pretty much everywhere I go. These are nice because they have like the push, like a little, it's not really a button, but it's like a place where you can like push in and it'll make the water come out a little bit more. And then this I know is something that I've mentioned in more than one video, but this is, I don't know even what this is called, but there will be links to it down below, but it is what I use to fill up my water brushes. This is what it's designed for. It also comes with a little water brush, which mine is long gone because I've had this for like 5 or 6 years, but yeah, you just fill it up with water. I have never once had this leak, and I've had it in my bag, like in my pencil pouch for years, and it's never once leaked on me. So if you're looking for something to transport water, definitely check this out. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna go on to my 2 favorite watercolor brushes. This is one of my favorite brands of watercolor brushes, as is this, but I'm picking out these specific brushes because I like these ones. This is a Princeton Neptune Dagger brush. I don't see many people using the Dagger brush, but I really like this one as opposed to using like a round brush. This is kind of, as you can see, it's like a dagger shape, and it's really thin, but it's really floppy. And these are synthetic brushes, so I do like them a lot, but I've used this particular brush in a few of my watercolor videos, so if you want to see me using it, you can check it out. I just like it because you can still do like a big area for a wash, but it goes, when it's wet, it goes down to a really fine point, so you can do like script lining and outlining and stuff with it just with this one brush. And this is one of my other favorite brushes. This is a Jackson's Series 777 Quill brush. This is the size 6, which is the biggest one they sell. This is a big brush, like compared to the Dagger, it's really huge, but I like this one. It holds a ton of water, and it also, when it's wet, comes down to a really fine point, so you can do pretty fine details with it. They are just really good. I have a couple other ones, but this one is my favorite. Alright, so I think I'm gonna go on to paints now. I feel like this was in my favorites last time, back in 2015, but this is the Finetech Gold Pigment. I guess they're considered watercolors, but I use these for all of the gold details that I do in any of my illustrations. I like, this is the white gold, and you can see that I've definitely used this one more than any of the other colors. But yeah, these are really nice. What I do with these is I put water on them, or I'll spray them and let them sit so that the pigment kind of pulls out, because sometimes they're a little bit hard to reactivate, but if you just leave water sitting on them for a little while before you use them, then you will get that beautiful like gold that you're looking for if you're trying to use these. Alright, so I'm going to do watercolor, and then I'm going to do gouache. I had a really hard time narrowing down the watercolor palettes that I wanted to share because I have so many that I really like. I think I have 3 or 4 that I'm going to share with you guys. This is a Magello Mission Gold set that I got from Amazon, and it comes with these colors as well as this palette. I think that this is a really good starter set since it comes with the palette and the paints, and the paints, as you can see, are very vibrant. Yeah, this is my swatch card of the colors that come in this set. It's actually upside down. So these are the colors that come in the set. And yeah, they're really pigmented, and they come in tubes, so they don't come like in the palette, and it's just a really good deal. And they're really good to like try out if you want to try out this brand, or if you've never used watercolors before. I definitely recommend checking out this particular set. I think it's really nice. And so another set that I take with me when I'm going out, this is generally the set that I take with me when I'm going like plein air painting. This is by Schminke, and this is the Hazel Sohn, I think I'm pronouncing her name right maybe. It's a little bit of an unusual color palette. These are the colors that come with it, and these two that are in the end are colors that I added when I went to the coast to paint. This is a set that I got from Amazon. It came with these colors. Most of them are full pans, which is really cool. And it didn't come with a black and white, which is one of the main things that drew me to this palette. Plus, I just think that the colors are super unusual. And this tray does come out, so there's a little bit more mixing area if you are looking for an additional mixing area. I also like about this palette that the edges are folded, because sometimes on the Schminke palettes they are sharp. This one was quite a surprise that it had folded edges. But yeah, this is a palette that I like using a lot, and yeah, it's nice because it's kind of an unusual selection of colors. So I had to pull my camera back a bit to show you guys this. I have shown this in a video before. This is what I generally use if I'm working at home. This is my John Pike watercolor palette, and it has my M-gram paints in it. It desperately needs to be cleaned. But these are my M-gram watercolors. They are my favorite watercolors, and unfortunately they're made with honey, so you can't really put them in pans and take them places because they are always kind of in a state of not being quite dry. Like, these have been in this palette for years and they're like still pulling color off of them because they don't quite fully dry. Some of them do, but most of them don't. You can see that they are quite shiny. That they're great paints. M-grams are so good. I just wish that I could take them with me, but this is what I usually use if I'm working at home. They're really, really, really good paints. If you're looking for a really nice watercolor, I definitely recommend checking out the M-grams. Alrighty, so now we're going to go on to gouache and then we will be done. I have a couple of different brands of gouache that I really like. I do really like the Winsor Newton Designer's Gouache. These are really old. I've had them forever and they're mostly gone by now. The white has been replaced, but the packaging looks totally different on these now. I've had these for a couple years. The Winsor Newton Design Gouache it's really good. Like, it's just, the pigments are really, really strong and they're really smooth to work with. I've never had any issues with them. So these are one of my favorite brands. They are a more expensive brand though, so definitely maybe not something that a beginner would be using, but they are really good to upgrade to if you are looking to try out new types of gouache. And then my other favorite brand of gouache is, of course, M-gram, just like the watercolors. I also like M-gram's gouache. It's a little bit harder to get a hold of than the Winsor & Newton. I find that not many stores sell M-gram. The brand is local to where I live because they're made in Westland, Oregon, which is really cool because I live in Oregon. I only own the Zorn palette and a white. So the Zorn palette, I've done a video on it, so you can go and check that out if you'd like. But it's just yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, Payne's gray, and white, and I recently just replaced these because I used up my other tubes. I'm planning on just keeping these for paints because I like the Zorn palette in the M-gram brand. Alright guys, so those are my current favorite art supplies. I'm going to try to do one of these videos every year. I missed a couple years obviously, but if you have any questions about any of the stuff I've talked about in this video, feel free to leave me a comment down below. And once again, thank you guys so much for the 100K. I will have hopefully the details for my giveaway upcoming really, really, really soon, but as I said, I'm going to be busy for the next couple weeks, so we will see when I am able to do that, but I know I will be doing it soon. So keep an eye on my channel and my social media for that. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. It's great. I'm really, really grateful, and I love you guys so much. And if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for subscribing and hanging out with me for a little while. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Please give it a like. It helps to support my channel a whole lot. And subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in a couple more days for another video. Bye!